Hello, everyone. I started a podcast for people like you who love to celebrate and not just celebrate, but celebrate birthdays, holidays, National Donut Day. Of course, that's a thing. National Call a Friend Day, uh, National Days, so many days, right? Now, the podcast is meant to share exciting stories behind celebrations and share exciting knowledge and tips to help you be a better person, better host, better person who celebrates holidays, birthdays, and anniversaries, and all that kind of things. Now, there's something I've been thinking about recently, and it's the fact that when we look back in time, I don't know, but probably it could be something that's just personal, but when we look back in time, we would love to think of, let's say, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, right? We'd love to think of 10 years, a decade, right? But for me, for some reason, I just cannot think think of time in terms of decades, in terms of years, in terms of a year, in terms of a month, or in terms of a week. I think of the past, the future, the present in terms of days. Now, it doesn't mean I don't think far off, but what I think of is days. I'll give an example. If you were recollecting the past, what units would you recollect it in? Because I remember that day. It was the day that stuff happened. For every day, it seems like it's a story of its own. It starts and it ends. Tomorrow is another day. It starts and it ends. Now, for each day, we could write a story about it, and it will uniquely stand on its own. And so, for most of us, our stories is is summarized in days. Now, when I say days, I don't mean just 2 or 3 days, but a collection of days, right? It could be how many days is in 50 years? That's about 15,000, 16,000, 20,000 days collected all together. The day you were born, your birthday, the day you were named, your naming ceremony day, the first day you went to school. What would we call that day? National Learning Thing Day, right? We still remember how we responded to school, for most of us. That stupid thing we did, how we were afraid, how it felt like you were taking us, we were being dragged to a boat of slavery. For most of us, we were scared. And then we saw the other kids. We were like, whoa, this guys seem happy. What's going on? And then we loved school and we never wanted to miss school. That means for most of us. And then there was a day where we graduated from school. There was a day where we got married. There was a day we gave birth to first son, first daughter. And there, of course, at the end of the day, there's the death day. So observe day the whole idea is meant to look at the stories, the cultures, the traditions behind the days. Now, if you can understand the days, you can understand the story, the history of people. You can say, okay, this is their culture, this is who they are. The things that are important to people can be reflected in the holidays. Yeah. Which days do they celebrate? Yeah. Why? Or what was behind that holiday? Right? So in turn, we can even talk about history and the likes of it. So this podcast is meant to inspire, to entertain us, to see how the world can be summarized in holidays. But that doesn't mean that the summary of it is the whole world. No, it's a glimpse of what the world is, not the world itself, right? So if you love exciting stories, to be entertained, to be inspired, to be educated, then subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review. Let me know what you love to hear. Because I'll be bringing guests, I'll be telling stories, I'll be doing research, doing documentaries, and the likes of all. Yeah. And until next time, my name is Wisdom Konkwo, and you've been listening to the Observe Day podcast.